What we didn't really anticipate a lot of times, and I think it's, I guess, farmer or user error, would be appropriate selection of cover crops and termination dates to be the most effective we can. The most successful winter cover that we've used has been a Bruisey Rye and Crimson Clover. We haven't used any vetch yet, which we may attempt to do that in future plots, but planting that in about mid-September and then terminating around the beginning of April, end of March, about this time of year, and then directly planting something like a tomato into it has seemed to be rather effective. One, you get the fertility from the legume, the clover, and the biomass from the rye has seemed to be a pretty good combination for us. And then the clover also, because it's also growing in the cooler seasons adjacent to our spring cash crops, we've actually seen a lot of lady beetles and beneficials in that cover crop adjacent to other cash crops. So not only is it doing its job as, retaining nutrients and building nutrients, but it's also habitat for other insects and pollinators too. So it serves a lot of benefits, which was not something I anticipated, but has really overall been beneficial to other areas of the farm. But we've seen, side by side, planting tomatoes on bare soil and then a rolled down cover has been much more effective. And what we've been using basically for that cool weather is using a roller crimper on the front end of the tractor, getting a good bit of weight onto those crimpers and terminating it. And then because of the size of CityRoots, it's hard to put any larger equipment on the back of the tractor. So we basically have just used basically hand tools, a shovel or post hole diggers to cut through that residue and plant a transplant directly into that. I think the main summer cover that we'll use this year is sun hemp because it produces so much biomass and also as a legume as well. We may mix some Sudan grass into that, and I did have a recommendation from another person to use an upright cowpea as well, as opposed to a vining type, which we may do a small plot of that. We may do a little bit of sun hemp and a small amount of buckwheat, but we may pull that out of the cover crop rotation because it tends to self-seed. But it'll probably mainly be a sun hemp or Sudan grass. I haven't really decided completely. A little bit of my fear is the sun hemp again. If we're rolling a sun hemp and then going to a late summer cash crop planting, I don't see much of a detriment to it, but I am a little bit nervous rolling the sun hemp down again and seeing how it does with our small direct seeded planter, because it did bind it up last year. So I don't know if Sudan grass will do better than that or sun hemp. We'll kind of see. We may do both. We may even do something that's less biomass or smaller, like a millet, only a millet, and roll that. But we'll kind of see.